Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Regina Rimbert, and I am the CEO for BuyVet. BuyVet is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to promote, support, and veteran-owned businesses. So we've been doing fireside chats, and these are up close and personal conversations with some of our wonderful veteran business owners. And so I'm pleased to tell you today that we have Jonathan Metz with us, and he is the owner of the Metz Art Gallery in Philadelphia. So he's going to give us some information about his business and just share some information with us. So at this point, I'll just go ahead and turn it over to you, Mr. Metz.
Hi, I'm the owner of the Metz Art Gallery of Philadelphia, and it's an online art gallery. Just because of the pandemic happening, a lot of brick and mortar galleries can't go to anymore. They've always, for decades, if not centuries, they've been like the home of really getting into that crowd of high selling, high, venue art, where it seems like it's only like a private club can only attend, it can only really be successful. But now, because of the pandemic, all those things have closed down, and the world of the internet has opened up for possibilities for small business owners, lesser known artists, to really try to get out there and show what they got. And I'm trying to throw my my hat out there and see what happens. I've had a couple bites and trying to see how I can grow my my business as a whole.
So can you tell us your why, like why you decided to go into business for yourself after service?
I'm actually still serving in the reserves, so that's still there on the side. It's definitely interesting trying to schedule around that stuff, but luckily it is doable. So again, like the why, I have been doing my own artwork and selling commissions here and there, like not really making a steady income for years, ever since I graduated college, and been working a day job. Worked 8 years as an art teacher, and recently left that, working almost 2 years now as a civilian contractor for the Navy. So civilian contractor for the Navy, Army Reserve soldier on the side. During the pandemic, again, during this whole thing, I've been selling stuff here and there, producing work, as you can see behind me. These are some of my bigger items that I produce. And during the pandemic, I'm thinking of everybody's been suffering. Like there's so many businesses are going under, people are losing their jobs, and like all their livelihoods are kind of going under. And you really get, a sense, really get the realization that your foundation of income and your livelihood can just get swept out from under you just like that. And because nobody saw this coming, you right. Got this coming, this illness came in, and then they tell you 2 weeks, 2 weeks turns into a month, turns into 2 months, turns into what were we at, like 10, 12, like almost a year now.
Yeah.
So yeah, you never know what can come. So, it kind of get inspired to really step up your game. And luckily I have been blessed enough to have the opportunity to work from home, continue my civilian contracting job, doing that. But at the same time, because I'm home a little more often, I have a lot more time on my hands, no more commuting time. I don't really go out anymore, because you're going to shut home. So might as well put that time to something productive. And that was kind of my why, where I'm thinking, why not? If I'm going to go ahead and try and make this thing a career, if I'm going to try and make this thing a business, now is probably the best time ever. The opportunities for art online is probably the best they've ever been. Mm-hmm. And I got the time. So I might as well go ahead and give it a go if I'm going to try and do this.
Right. So many people have told me that veteran business owners are resilient. How has being a veteran impacted or influenced your business or the way you do business?
Resiliency was, I guess, probably a big thing. Like they specifically have resiliency training in the Army, mm-hmm. where they're just basically going on like how to go get over challenges, get over obstacles, and keep moving forward. That's like the biggest thing, is to keep moving forward. Like yes. It doesn't matter if you're hurt, doesn't matter because where are you gonna go? Like if you're gonna get through the storm, you have to get through the storm. You have to go. You can't just sit there and stay in the storm. You got to keep on going to get out of it. So that was a big thing. Like, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm selling things here and there, but I'm not really making any progress. So if I'm really going to try and make this thing something of, you know, a second income, if I'm going to try and get out of this hole that a lot of people find themselves in, you know, financially, I got to do something. I got to move forward.
Right.
That's a big thing in being resilient. And, I mean, I think just like a lot of people being trapped inside, I did have a huge portion of that time where I was just lacking in motivation, no
I
inspiration. I wasn't
understand.
making anything.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I know I should. I have all this time. Like, why can't I think of anything? But then I guess something just clicked. I think it was actually around the time of the George Floyd protests and everything.
Yeah.
This wave of inspiration hit me. Made a few new pieces, inspiration of that and civil rights. And after that, it was like the floodgates open at that point. It was the kind
Yeah.
of inspiration that I needed to really start producing more and more items. And and I did. And then all of a sudden, something hit. I started making these coasters that very simple to make, and you know, I use a technique called pyrography, which is basically burning your design into the wood using a burning tool. It's something similar of like a soldering iron,
Yeah.
and you'd actually burn the items into the wood,
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I'd burn just simple designs. This is probably one of my more popular orders with the elephants. Apparently, people love elephants,
Yes. Yes. Very
and I'd sell
nice.
them in sets of four. Sell them in
Very
sets of
nice.
four, and if I started out really slow, just my local neighborhood in, you know, Philadelphia, and I'd say, hey, postal service ain't working very well. If you live within a half hour, I'll drive it to you. I'll personally drive it to you. I don't mind. It's fine. I wear my mask like I'm delivering it like Uber Eats or
Yeah.
something. It's like I had time on my hands. I'm like, it's fine. I'd rather deliver it to you when I finish rather than just being literally a half hour from each other than probably getting it within 2 weeks because the postal service has been that bad. And I started getting order after order after order, and I'm thinking this could be something.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of taken off, and the other bigger items started getting a lot more views, a little more traffic online. I get through my Instagram, all I had at the time, and I'm like, all right, maybe I can really, maybe this is my shot. This is like my lead into actually making this a business. So
Right. So
I'm starting to get and take it more seriously, and I'm developing a new website, making purchasing and ordering a little more easier. Still running through things a lot through my Instagram, and I'm trying to make an increase with that.
okay, so you have the larger pieces and then you have the smaller pieces. You said um, you also had sketches and smaller things that, you know, smaller art pieces also that you sell also?
Yeah,
Okay, that's awesome.
yeah, yes, because I went to art school, and for art education, they kind of force you to really be versed in as many different media as possible because you're going to have to teach those. You can't just teach one thing that you're an expert in. You have to teach everything that you're an expert in. So it really made you get proficient in things like ceramics, photography, prints, painting, all those things. And I really took a really interest, and I majored in printmaking when I was in college. My favorite thing printmaking was block prints, where you actually had to carve a design into wood. You layer it over with ink, you put a piece of paper on top, and run it through a press, and there you have a piece of artwork. I
Artwork.
always liked the piece of
Awesome.
wood more than I like my print, and I'm thinking, why don't I keep on working with the wood and just keep on working with
Right.
that?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how my idea for working specifically on wood. These are wood carvings behind me, and of course, you just saw the wood burnings on smaller
Right.
pieces in front of you. But you know, of course, I still have a lot of photography that I would still like to advertise. A lot of prints that came from printmaking from college, paintings, things of that sort. But what I'm focusing on at this point, and what's going to be a highlight of my website, is going to be the woodworks that you guys see just now. But I
Okay.
will have the photography and the pictures still for sale on there. They're just not going to be what's highlighted on my website because I want to focus on that stuff as my main merchandise goal.
Okay, awesome. So advice. Um, I know you started your own business and you're growing it. Do you have like one solid piece of advice that you could offer a fellow veteran or someone thinking about starting their own business in the environment that we're in now?
Um, I would say the resiliency is key, and you have to know yourself. Like I know that um, I know when I'm more productive during the day, when I'm not. I know if I plan on doing something, like let's say if I go to the gym, I'm more productive before the gym if, rather than after. It's because I'm tired, I'm worn out. I like to go after it at the gym. So when I'm done, I'm done. Like I'm ready to relax. Or at that point, like I might not be ready to work on the computer because I'm not really a huge, technology fan.
Yeah.
Which is really a hard thing trying to get a website started, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You just know yourself, know your habits, know your work ethic. If you know yourself well enough, you can adapt to your schedule and your routine and really make something work. Because maybe you're not a morning person. You work at night, you work better at night. So maybe you do the stuff like you got to do in the morning, and then you have your afternoon ready to produce and do more work for your business. Resiliency as well as like you have to like who's the company that you keep. You don't want a lot of no people around you.
Right.
You don't want a lot of yes people either. You want some honest people, but you want some positive influences. You don't want the person that's going to look at you and be like, oh, you can't run a business. You can't do that. Nah, that's impossible. But they're saying that because they don't see it as a possibility for them. They don't know how to talk to you. They don't know what you're capable of. They project what they're capable of onto you because, I mean, your success might make them feel bad. And you don't want that. You don't want that negative. You don't want that negative.
Energy.
Vibe. You don't want the negative energy around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta stay positive. That's the biggest thing. You don't everybody's gonna have ups and downs starting a business. You're gonna have a lot of those. So when you get those downs, you gotta have a good crowd around you that can really pick you back up and get you going and keep you going because that resiliency is key. One book I'm reading right now. I don't know if you want me to show it, but this is one of the books that's kind of getting me pretty positive in what I'm doing. It's called right this How I Built This by Guy Raz.
Uh-huh.
It's basically it's a huge book of him interviewing entrepreneurs and how they got their start. And all these entrepreneurs are coming from different aspects and different starting points.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have an idea, some people kind of just fell into the idea. Some people kind of had an idea of what industry they were going toward. Some people had no idea how to start a business at all. Like the different stories kind of keep you positive of how something is possible, no matter what your background, no matter what kind of capital you're starting with, because me included, I'm broke. I don't got nothing to really start with. So you kind of have to work on that. And that's not a problem if you really know how to work around.
Creative.
So that would be my thing is with that resiliency, know yourself, and stay positive and feed that positive energy. Don't feed that negative energy with a lot of no people because they're just going to hold you back.
That's right. Yeah. Well, John, how can we find you? You mentioned your website. What social medias are you on?
So trying to focus on Instagram and Facebook. Again, I have my website. So here's what I have so far. I'll show that to you guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can tell me it's backwards.
MetzGallery.com. The MetzGallery.com. Okay.
The MetzGallery.com. It's not live yet. I'm still trying to get it started and getting it going. I want to make sure that the buying process is as smooth as possible. My Instagram is jmetz_art. That's kind of the main thing what I'm working through right now to provide orders, just a lot of direct messagings. And I'm doing orders through that, whether it be big pieces, small pieces. I just sold a big piece to the local gym that I go to through the gym owner. He was a great advocate for it. The coasters, again, a lot of those are going. If you live outside the Philadelphia area, it's really cheap to ship. Shipping is really not a big issue because they're really tiny items. My email for any bigger items or anything like that, if you don't want to direct message me on Instagram, is again jmetz331 @gmail.com. Again, you can reach me there as well. So I have a lot of, and I'm on Facebook as well. That's linked through my Instagram, Jonathan.
That's
so yeah.
jmetz_art, right? jmetz_art
For Instagram.
Oh, that's Instagram.
Instagram, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
And what is it again for Facebook? Your Facebook?
Facebook is just Jonathan Metz.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us? This is a great interview. I really appreciate you taking time out to meet with us.
Of course. Sorry, my dog's distracted me still. Trying to keep him busy with the bone. Our bud.
I look forward to
He's been,
checking out your art. I really look forward to it, and I'm going to be doing that this weekend, just taking a look at your gallery to see all of the things that you have out there for sale. And I want to encourage others to support you as well. That's what BuyVet is all about, veterans supporting veterans. So,
yeah, I think that's really important, because we keep on, complaining, and there's a big point of how we don't get supported by the own government that employs us to serve, unfortunately. But fortunately, there are a lot of private companies and charities, and vets support each other's vets. So we got to take responsibility for each other
that's
when
right.
no one else will.
That's right.
So I think it's really important, and I really want to thank you for putting this opportunity for hopeful entrepreneurs like myself to really try to get themselves out there, and anything I can do to help other vets as well. Obviously, I'm here because I'm definitely an advocate for that. We gotta help each other out.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, and look forward to it, to getting to know more about you.
All right, thank you.
All righty.